What's your Tyler's Bag here on the Retro Reviews here on Tyler's What's your Tyler's Bag with another Retro Reviews here on Tyler's Retro Reviews, whatever. With King of the Ring 2000. I know it's not the anniversary, it was June 25th, but that'll be on a Wednesday, but on here we do them on Thursdays, so that's probably understandable. Well, I do though. But anyways, now they did put out two good pay-per-views, Backlash and Judgment Day. Unfortunately, King of the Ring was not that great of an event. I mean, compare this to last week with the Great American Bash. Yeah. But anyways, this did take place on June 25th, so not yet the 25th anniversary, but whatever. At the Fleet Center in Boston, Massachusetts. Anyways, let's get on to the event itself. So yeah, they did the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals of this whole thing. And since the roster was deep at this point, they did a 32-man tournament, but the bill was kind of non-existent. I mean, the only Bill towards match for this pay-per-view was the six-man tag main event for the WWF title, which we'll get to that. So hold your horses right there. First off, we get the first quarterfinal match in the King of the Ring tournament. Rikishi defeats Chris Benoit by disqualification. On the go-home SmackDown before King of the Ring, Rikishi did beat Benoit to win the Intercontinental Championship. This match was 3 minutes long. Did somebody say 3 minutes? No, not that. Yeah, I had to do the Eric Bischoff stick from 2002. But you're probably another Samoan wrestlers from the famous Samoan lineage, but still, not that one. Benoit did get a bunch of impressive German suplex on Rikishi. Then he puts him in the crippler crossface. Rikishi grabs the ropes. Benoit grabs a chair, got himself DQ'd, and continued his. Yeah, he basically was mad that he lost the Intercontinental Championship. But why would he get disqualified in a tournament? I mean, yeah. I mean, for the 3 minutes it was actually decent. A 5 out of 10, but it could have been better. But again, Benoit will get a world title match the following month at Fully Loaded, which, by the way, is not going to be one of the July reviews. I know. Maybe sometime in August. Remastered, that is, on this channel. Then we get Val Venus defeating Eddie Guerrero. By the way, it's another quarterfinal match, but I'm just going to say it for one of these, so I don't have to say it like the last 3 of them. So there's that. Val Venus defeats Eddie Guerrero. It was, again, another decent match, but again, tournaments, I'm not a fan of King of the Ring tournaments to begin with. But yeah, so Val Venus won, and he will face Rikishi in the semifinals. 6 out of 10, I'll give it. Then we get Crash Holly defeating Bull Buchanan. Yeah. How did these two get in the quarterfinal match? It was mostly Bull beating the shit out of Crash, and Crash got a sneaky inside cradle for the 3. Speaking of which, a 3 out of 10. Anyways, then we get Kurt Angle defeating Chris Jericho in a really good match. Stephanie McMahon got involved, and Chris Jericho kissed Stephanie, which was led to Kurt Angle got the advantage and won the match. This was a fantastic match, like I said. Kurt Angle goes on to the semifinals to meet Crash Holly, and I wonder who's going to win that. 8 out of 10, I'll give it. Then we get a Fatal 4-Way elimination match for the WWF Tag Team Championships. Edge and Christian defeats Too Cool of Grandmaster Sexay and Sky Toy, which, yes, they were the tag champions at this event. Why? I don't know. The Hardy Boys and Test and Albert. Let me see. Yeah, Test got eliminated first by Jeff Hardy, and then Christian eliminates Matt Hardy, and then it came down to Too Cool versus Edge and Christian, and Edge and Christian won by winning the match overall. They won the tag titles for, what was it, the second time? Something like that, yeah. Overall, it was actually a fun tag team elimination match, There was that. 7 out of 10 I'll give it. Then we get the King Ring semifinal match again. I'm just going to say it once, and there's that. Rikishi defeats Val Venus. This is basically the feud between Rikishi and Val. That's it. Rikishi won. He'll go on to the finals, and yeah, it was not that great. 4 out of 10. Afterwards, Val Venus attacked Rikishi. He had an injured shoulder during that. So that's another good thing. That's another thing I want to bring up. They did the whole story around the night where Rikishi had a damaged arm through all that, and yeah. Then we got the other one. Kurt Angle defeats Crash Holly, so it comes down to Kurt Angle and Rikishi in the finals. Again, it was just a short match, and now it's basically at a 5 out of 10. And then we got the Hardcore Evening Gown match for the Hardcore Championship. This match ends when Crash Holly got involved in pinning Patterson. Nothing else to talk about. There's a 0 out of 10. Then we get a handicap tables dumpster match, and this is... Hear me out, okay? So, in this match, if the Dudleys put each member of DX through tables, and DX has to put the Dudleys in the dumpster, so that's the only thing about it. But yeah, DX defeats the Dudleys in this handicap tables dumpster match, and again, they should have let the Dudleys win this, but they didn't. Kind of stupid. But then afterwards, Bubba Ray did put Tori through a table, and that was like her last appearance, not counting the Sunday Night Heat shows. It was okay, but the Dudleys should have won this. 6 out of 10, I'll give it. And then we get the finals for the King of the Ring tournament. Kurt Angle defeats Rikishi. This was another good match. Rikishi and Kurt Angle had some really nice chemistry together. And Rikishi was not going to win the entire tournament, but he did put it all in this entire tournament. So there's that. And Kurt Angle won, and he got the big shot at SummerSlam. And he got his big main event programs, well, quotation marks against The Undertaker at the next pay-per-view, Fully Loaded, but we all know about that. And yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10, good match. Then we get the main event, the biggest clusterfuck of a main event. So, Judgment Day happens. Undertaker came back as, the American Badass, and this led to, on SmackDown, where Undertaker says Linda McMahon re-signed The Undertaker. Again, it's just a storyline, really. And he says, lots of years, lots of zeros. And then also he says, I'm gonna kick your stinking ass, or something like that. Then they were supposed to have Undertaker and The Rock face off. But then they fight the baddies. Kane-Man's return. I hadn't seen him since after WrestleMania. Or something before Backlash. Actually, he was at the Insurrection event, but still. And then later on, Vince got this letter from Linda McMahon, and if any of those three, if Kane or Undertaker or The Rock defeat either one of the three of us, and that person will be the World Wrestling Federation champion. And this pissed Triple H off, Because we get the main event, a 6-man tag match for the WWF Championship. So if Triple H, Shane, or Vince gets pinned, Triple H will lose the title. So The Rock and the Brothers of Destruction, Kane, The Undertaker, defeats Vince, Shane, and Triple H. The Rock pinned Vince, so he becomes the champion as a result of that. I mean, this was a fun main event. And yeah. But why do you gotta do like a multi-man match for the fucking title? It's like, it's kind of like, you know, David Arquette won the WC title on that Thunder, which was also a tag match, like a month, 2 months prior to this. You know, again, this was a fun main event. You know, they took the title of Triple H so he doesn't get pinned in this match. So, Rock wins the title. You know, the hot potato thing with Triple H and the Rock went from Backlash, Judgment back, and here at King of the Ring. Undertaker did like the coolest choke slam through the announcing with the Shane McMahon, shades of SmackDown games, you know. But you don't do it through a table though, unless you do it like a TLC match. Kane was turning on his team in this match. They were teasing a Kane heel turn, but that wouldn't be official until before SummerSlam when Kane fought Undertaker. Well, I didn't quotation marks, that was mostly a fight. You know. And the end comes when Vince was going to do the people's elbow on the Rock. Rock tipped up, Rock bottom, 1, 2, 3. You could tell that was the finish because there. You know, a 7 out of 10, a 7.5 out of 10 rather. But still. King of the Ring was, again, a mixed bag. But, I said before, it was better than last week's we did, which was the Great American Bash. Ugh. Overall, it was a weird pay-per-view, rather. I give it a 5.5. No, I give it a 6 out of 10, rather. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Next week will be ECW Heatwave 1998. Yeah, I know this took place in August, but I want to do them whenever I want to, so there's that. Which is one of the best ECW pay-per-views ever. Not the reboot with One Night Stand 05. But still. SmackDown review will be tomorrow. Saturday will be Deception. Sunday, I guess I'll do the Dumpster Fires. Yeah. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, react to the notification bell. I still my main channel also, so there's that. Bye-bye.